This is what's interesting, Michelle. This is the left narrative.
No, it's not. I'm not the left. Why'd you call me the left?
Can I finish? We're all talking about immigration.
Matt Goodwin shuts down Commentator in epic debate. All right, buckle up for this one. Because what just happened on live television wasn't just a debate. It was a clash of ideas, a collision of narratives, and when the dust settled, only one voice was left standing. You're not going to believe how Matt Goodwin handled this. Calm, sharp, precise. And when the final punch landed, the audience knew it was game over. Now, let's break this down. So here's the scene. Matt Goodwin, political scientist, commentator, and no stranger to heated debates, was invited onto a panel discussion. The topic? One of the hottest issues right now: immigration, integration, and the cultural direction of Britain. On the opposite side sat a well-known commentator, someone who's been outspoken about identity politics, representation, and what they see as discrimination in public policy. From the very start, the tension was thick. The moderator barely got through the introduction before voices started rising. Goodwin opened with statistics, calm, collected, with that professor-like delivery he's known for. He pointed to polling numbers, community concerns, and the widening gap between political elites and ordinary people. But the commentator pushed back hard, accusing Goodwin of fueling division. Their tone was fiery, emotional, loaded with claims that his arguments were outdated and even dangerous. And that's when it happened. Goodwin leaned forward, cut through the shouting, and dropped a line that froze the room. Facts aren't offensive. What's offensive is ignoring the public's voice. The panel went silent for a moment. Even the moderator stumbled. Now, this wasn't just some viral debate moment, it's bigger than that. Because debates like this are shaping the political mood across Europe. Think about it. For years, the establishment line has been to push diversity as an unquestionable good. And for many, yes, it has been. But at the same time, communities across Britain and beyond are saying something different. They're raising concerns about integration, about culture, about jobs, about values. And when those concerns get brushed aside, voices like Goodwin step in. Not always popular, not always polished, but undeniably effective. Public reaction. Oh, it exploded. Clips from the debate went viral within hours. Twitter, or X, as we call it now, was flooded with hot takes. One tweet read, "Goodwin just schooled the panel with actual data. This is why people listen to him." Another, on the opposite end, shot back, "Dangerous rhetoric, wrapped up in academic language. This isn't debate, it's division." Even journalists jumped in. One columnist wrote, "This moment shows the deep fracture in our national conversation. Facts versus feelings, identity versus reality." And let me tell you, people are taking sides fast. But here's where it gets interesting. Behind the fiery exchanges, there's a strategic battle going on. Matt Goodwin has been building his brand for years as the voice who challenges mainstream narratives. He positions himself as the outsider inside academia, the one who dares to say what others whisper. That's why his words resonate with a growing audience tired of what they see as censorship, political correctness, and elite groupthink. On the other hand, commentators who challenge him argue that his perspective emboldens populism, fuels cultural divides, and undermines social cohesion. For them, debates like this aren't just intellectual sparring matches, they're battles for the soul of society. And here's the kicker: both sides are right, in their own way. That's why the clash was so powerful. Across Europe, in France, Germany, Italy, the Netherlands, we're seeing a similar pattern. Political debates around immigration and integration are becoming make-or-break issues. Leaders are rising and falling on how they handle them. When Giorgia Meloni stormed to power in Italy, it wasn't because of economic policy alone, it was culture, identity, sovereignty. When Marine Le Pen continues to gain ground in France, it's not because of her tax plans. It's because of her stance on who belongs and what values should define the nation. Goodwin's debate moment fits right into this wider story. It's about the clash between identity-driven politics and data-driven populism. And that's why people are watching so closely. But let's get back to that panel room. After Goodwin's knockout line, the commentator tried to recover, pushing back with emotional appeals about unity and tolerance. But by then, the momentum had shifted. Goodwin doubled down not with anger, but with calm facts, referencing polling after polling, report after report. And the audience reaction was clear. Applause. Nods. The sense that the tide was moving in his favor. One observer put it best afterward, it wasn't just a debate win. It was a turning point. So where does this leave us? That's the million-dollar question. If debates like this continue to trend, if clips keep going viral, if voices like Goodwin's keep resonating with ordinary citizens, then political leaders are going to have to listen. They can't ignore the cultural questions forever. But here's the other side. If this rhetoric hardens lines, if it turns debate into polarization, then the country risks deepening divides that will be hard to bridge. So the impact could go either way. And maybe that's the real story here. This wasn't just about Matt Goodwin versus one commentator. It's about the bigger debate, the one happening in every living room, every workplace, every corner of society. Who gets to define the national story? Who decides what's acceptable to say, and what's beyond the line? And most importantly, are we even listening to each other anymore, or are we just waiting to shut each other down? Because if this debate showed us anything, it's this. Facts matter, feelings matter, but the way we handle the clash between the two, that's what will shape the future. So what happens next? Will this clip just be another viral moment, or the spark that ignites a much bigger conversation across Britain and Europe? One thing's for sure, the audience will remember that line. Facts aren't offensive. Ignoring the public's voice is. And with that, you can't help but wonder, if this is just the beginning, how much deeper does this go?